Hello everyone. So we are now in the session of motivation and where we were discussing about the different theories of motivation. Now, if you remember in the last session, we have discussed about the McGeorge participation theory. McGeorge participation theory focuses on basically two things. There are two different theories which are there in McGeorge participation theory, that is theory X, which is based on that people do not like to work more. People just like to work a little and as little as which they can do. They lack ambition, they dislike responsibility. So for that purpose, it becomes very important for the leaders to come up with the ways. So here this theory X is basically the negative label theory, in which the members dislike their work and have very little motivation. Then according to this, the management, the leaders have to use their authoritative leadership style, authoritative style of managing the people. So that is why it is said as the negative theory of motivation. Second theory which we discussed in this only, second part, was the theory Y. Theory Y is considered to be the pure, to be basically the positively labeled theory, and in this the people take the pride in their work and see it as a challenge. The people are ready to take the challenges and to just give their best. They do not want any push, any authority who just forces them, who just pushes them to do their work. They themselves adopt a participative management style. And when we were talking about the theory X in McGeorge's leadership theory, it is basically the authoritative style of the management which they are using. But in this theory, they are basically using the participative management style to manage the people, because people willingly come forward to do their work. They are ready to take the challenges. They are ready to accept the challenges. And this is the theory which we discussed in the last session of motivation. Now today, as you can see on the screen, we will be discussing about Arvix Theory Z. Now, what is Arvix Theory Z? People in the organization should be on same page, where each and every employee, no matter on which hierarchy he is, whether he's in the top hierarchy, in the bottom, in the lower hierarchy, each and every employee in the organization should know the goals of the organization and should also know that how they are going to contribute towards the organization. It is very important that people understand their roles and responsibility towards the organization. Until and unless people do not know what goals are to be achieved and how they are contributing in achieving the goals of the organization, they cannot make the organization move towards success. So if you talk about Arvix Theory Z of motivation, Arvix Theory Z says employees should know the organizational goal precisely and the amount of contribution towards these goals. Now, being the employee, they should know in detail that what goal the organization has set, what are the goals and objective of the organization, and in-depth and detailed knowledge of the organization should be there. Why I'm talking about the detailed knowledge of the organization is required, because until and unless the employer will not have in-depth knowledge about the goals and objectives of the organization, they cannot find out that how they are contributed towards this goal, how their work is contributing towards the goal of the organization and making the organization grow. It is very important if the organization want to grow, if the organization want to survive, if the organization want to achieve, if the organization want to deliver the result. It is very important that organization know how the employees are going to contribute toward the goal, and employee should know that how he is contributing towards the goal of the organization, because it is the contribution of the employees, the work, the productivity, the efficiency of the organization, of the employees, which makes the organization achieve its set goals and objectives. Employee should also know that the relation of the organizational goal is going to satisfy his or her need positively. Each and every employee should be aware that their relation with the organizational goal is going to satisfy his or her need positively. Why? People do not feel motivated if their needs are not satisfied. People do not feel motivated, do not be productive, do not give their best until and unless their personal goals are not satisfied. They're not seeing themselves growing in the organization. So when people want to grow, when people will see that, yes, by doing this, by working for these goals, it is also satisfying our own personal need in the positive way, they are going to work with efficiency. So basically, Arvix theory of Z focuses on aligning the individual need positively with the goals of the organization, so that it can get the benefit from the organization. It can make the organization, make the people work effectively and efficiently by increasing the productivity and efficiency towards the goals of towards the organization. Now, what are the features of theory Z? The features of theory Z, basically there are 8 features of theory Z which we are going to discuss. So the first feature of theory Z is trust. You know here what we are doing, the employees are working for the organization. So if there is no trust between the employees and the organization, the employees are not going to work dedicatedly towards the organization. So the most important feature of theory Z is there should be trust within the organization. There should be a trust relationship between the organization and the employees, because until and unless the trust is not there, until and unless people do not trust each other, people do not trust the organization, they won't even trust the goals of the organization, and they will not work towards that. Trust will give them the positivity that, yes, if the organization is going to grow by our productivity, our efficiency, our hard work, organization is going to pay back to us also. With the growth of the organization, our individual growth will also be there, and that you need to understand. Second is strong bond between organization and employees. There need to be very strong bond between the employees and the organization, and that is only possible with the open flow and the transparent communication which is encouraged in the organization. Bonds, how the bonds are created when people feel that, yes, we care for the organization, and on the other hand, organization also care for us. Organization, when the employees are benefiting the organization by the work they are doing, the organization is also benefiting its employees by providing them the recognition, rewards, benefits, incentives, securing their future, providing them additional benefit. So these are the things which are going to create the strong bond of trust between the organization and the employees. And believe me, it is very important to have the strong bond of trust between the organization and the employees. Until and unless you do not have that strong bond of trust, the organization cannot survive. If you do not trust your employees if you do not trust the organization, employees are not going to stay in the organization for a longer duration. Employees are not going to work in the organization. They work in the organization, they work for the organization because they have that trust on organization that yes, whatever the organization is doing, whatever new measures, whatever new policies the organization is taking, it is for our own benefit. And now next thing is employee involvement. So employee involvement means that you are asking your employees to get involved in the work they are doing. Employee involvement is very important. You know, employee involvement gives the employees the sense of belongingness. And what are the ways by which you are involving the employees into the organization that you have to decide? Are you making them the part of the decision-making process? So, see, there are various ways by which you can engage. Uh, you can involve the employees in the organization. The first way is you just need to make sure that they are the part of the decision-making process. They are taking the active participation in the decision-making process. Along with that, they are also you know, not just the decision making process, they're also feeling that yes, our suggestions, our views, our feedbacks are being considered by the organization is valuing our feedback and our suggestions. So that is again very important. So employee involvement, along with that, the fourth feature is no formal structure. Do not just focus on the formal structure of communication, formal structure of passing on the information. No, at times it is required that you go off the formal structure. You have some informal structure which is making the organization to come, which is making the employees to come close to each other, close to the organization, where at any point of time, if it is required, they can present their views. They just feel free to speak in the organization, and that is what is very important. Coordination of the human beings. Now the coordination again depends upon the bond they have between them and the trust they have between them. Next is the individual responsibility. Now, how responsible the employees are, and are they taking the individual responsibility? Because when we are talking about the growth, when we are talking about making the organization move towards success, it is very important that each individual take his or her own responsibility of doing the task. Until and unless people do not take the responsibility of their work, of their role, the accountability of their work, the organization cannot grow. So being in the organization want that employees should take the responsibility of their work and of the role and the task which has been assigned to them. Informal control with formalized measures. So informal control with the formalized measures should also be there. And along with that, the last feature is employee participation and involvement. There is the need for the employee participation and involvement in the decision making process. Until and unless people are not participating. You are, you are not getting the chance to explore more. More the people are involved, more creative ideas, more suggestions you are going to get from the people. We all know many minds think creative. Many minds gives many different solution, many different suggestions, many different options to solve a specific problem. So that is why it is very important that employee participate and make themselves involved in the decision making process of the organization in each and everything. There should be some voluntary participation emerging in the employees, that yes, we voluntarily want to participate for this specific thing, for this specific project. That feeling, that sense of belongingness will only come when you will have a strong bond between the organization and the employees. So it is very important that you have these features. These are the important features which helps in creating the strong bond among the organization. And why Theory Z has focused on these features is because without these features, you cannot make the employees to work towards the goals of the organization. You cannot make them contribute towards the goal of the organization. So for that purpose, it is very important that these features are there. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of Theory Z? If I talk about the advantages, the first advantage of Theory Z is it is going to increase the productivity. So if we talk about increased productivity, yes, the productivity will increase because people know what is the goal of the organization, what the organization want to achieve, and they can easily align their own goals with the goals of the organization. So now the first thing is productivity will increase by using this theory. Second is loyalty. The people are going to be more loyal towards the organization. People will feel that sense of belongingness because now their views are being considered. They can easily talk to the people. They can easily work with the people. So somewhere they'll feel that yes, the loyalty for the employees, the loyalty towards the organization has increased using this theory set of motivation. Next is employee satisfaction. Again, employee satisfaction is very important, and yes, here by using this theory set, we will have more satisfied employees in the organization. What are the reasons due to which employees are satisfied in the organization? How employees are satisfied in the organization? What are the ways by which the employees are satisfied with the organization? A positive working environment. So don't you think this theory set is giving them a positive working environment where they can see them growing? Along with that, they are also seeing their employees growing in the organization. They are seeing that yes, we as the part of the organization have been given the opportunity to grow. So yes, it is giving them the positive environment. It is regularly working on giving the feedbacks, rewards and recognitions, a proper work-life balance and employee engagement involving the employees. It is also focusing on developing the employee skills. So these are the reasons by which employees are satisfied, and under this theory Z, it is focusing on all these features which makes the employee move towards the satisfaction. And yes, satisfied employees are the one who stays in the organization for a longer duration. They do not think of quitting the organization so easily. They want to stay in the organization. They want to stick to the organization because they have a better surrounding. They have the sense of belongingness. They are satisfied with the working culture. They are satisfied with the work which they are doing. So again, this is the advantage. Next advantage is promote trust and openness. Yes. promote the trust and openness within the organization. So here, it is going to promote trust within the organization, because how trust is promoted? Trust is promoted when the people see that yes, organization is working for them, as well as it is working for organization is working for their goodwill also. It is not the organization is just working towards its own growth. It is also focusing on the growth of the individual employee in the organization. So that is why it is going to promote trust. And along with that, the openness is having the open and the transparent flow of communication in the organization, which ultimately leads to success of the organization. Employee involvement, then we also work on the it is also the advantage of this theory that it focuses on the involvement of the employees, on increasing the involvement of the employees in the organization. The next is strong bond between employees and organization. So under this theory, it creates a strong bond between the employees and the organization, and it also makes the employees committed towards the organization. So basically, these are the advantages of theory Z, but along with advantages, we all know we have some disadvantages also. So we talk about the disadvantages. The disadvantages of this theory are participative management not welcome. So here it is not welcoming the participative management. Now, what is participative management? We are talking about the participative. So participative management. So what exactly is participative management? It is a management style which is positively associated with the high level of job satisfaction. So this participative management style, where employment of the employee is in decision making, problem solving companies, and empowering employees, as well as supporting their high autonomy, initiative, and creativity. This is not welcome. Reluctant to initiate. Yes, it is reluctant to initiate. Employee retention is again a challenge under this theory. This is the structured organization. It reduces the performance, no complete solution, and not applicable to people from different cultures. Yes, it is not applicable to the people who belong from different cultures. So with this, we have finished with all the theories of motivation. Now, quickly, we will see the 5 theories of motivation which we have discussed till now. So the first theory of motivation which we have discussed was the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You might have seen that all these theories are very different from each other, but yes, all the theory are focusing on the employees, because ultimately they have to satisfy the need of the employees only. So here, the first is the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Now, when we are talking about the Maslow's need hierarchy theory, this theory is based on the 5 hierarchy needs, that is the psychological need, the basic needs, the safety needs, then the love and belongingness needs, then the esteem need, and then the self-actualization need. So this theory is based basically on these 5 things. The second theory which we have discussed was the Herzberg 2-factor theory, which focuses on the hygienic factors and the motivators factor. So hygienic factor, if they are there, it is not going to increase the job satisfaction, but if they are not there, then it is definitely going to decrease the, it is definitely going to dissatisfy the employee. So improving the motivational factor increases job satisfaction, and improving the hygienic factor decreases job dissatisfaction. So it is now, if you are improving the hygienic factor, it is not increasing the job satisfaction, but yes, for sure, it is not going to decrease the job. It is going to decrease the job dissatisfaction. So what are the hygienic factors? That is the working condition, the co-workers relationship, policies, rules, supervisor quality, base wages, and salary. All these are the hygienic factors. Now, if we talk about the motivational factors, then achievement, recognition, responsibilities, work itself, advancement, personal growth, rewards, all these act as the motivational factors. So motivational factor, what basically they do? They motivate the people to be more effective and efficient. So it is basically they are working towards the effectiveness and efficiency only. Now, with this, the third theory which we have discussed was the Mclens theory of need. Now here, Mclens theory of need basically works on three factors. That is power, affiliation, and achievement. So Mclens believed that out of these three, people will be motivated at least with one factor. Either they want the power, or they want the affiliation, or they want the achievement. Something they want. So he strongly believes that out of these three things, Mclens strongly believes that out of these three factors, there is definitely going to be one factor which is going to motivate the people. But here the challenge is, if in a team there are 10 people and out of 10, 7 people are motivated by the power, you cannot give power, you cannot motivate them with the power motivation to all the 7 people. So it is the basic and the major drawback of this theory that if many people are motivated with the same thing, then we cannot motivate all the people using the same thing. So here, this Mclens theory of need have a challenge. Now, after Mclens theory of need, we have discussed about the fourth theory, and the fourth theory was McGeorge's model of motivation, that is theory X, Y. So basically, people do not remember McGeorge's participation theory, or the people do not remember the McGeorge's participation theory or the Arvix theory Z. People say it is theory X, theory Y, and theory Z. So if we talk about theory X is related to where the management is exercising its power to make the employees work in the organization, because here the employees are not self-motivated. So employees do not want to work themselves, they are not self-motivated. So here it just focuses on motivating the employees by exercising their management power, by making them work in their own style. Because here, no, the employees are not motivated, they do not want to work, they are very lenient. They do not want to put their efforts and energy, they do not have a set goal. So here, theory X is the authoritative repressive style, which uses its control to get the desired result. But on the other hand, theory Y is entirely different. Here, people are motivated, they love to take the challenges, they want to deliver the work, they want to they want to deliver the best results. So they do not want management or anyone to push them. They are self-motivated person. So here, theory Y is related to it is the participative theory, where the employees themselves are participating in the working of the organization. And the last theory of motivation is Arvix Theory Z. Now, Arvix Theory Z says that each and every person in the organization should be aware about the goals of the organization. Why? Because until and unless people will not know about the goal of the organization, they will also not know that how their efforts, their work is contributing towards the goal of the organization. To make them understand their contribution for the organization, it is very important to make them know the goal of the organization precisely. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session of motivation, where we have done all the different types of theories of motivation. Now in the next session, we will be discussing about the next module of motivation. But before discussing about the next module of motivation, I just want you to see this quotation. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. What do you understand by this? Is it saying that you are the right person to motivate yourself because no one else is going to come and motivate you? Do you think that people really feel happy with your success? No. No matter how close the person is, everyone is competing with the other person. No matter how close you are, how best of friends you are, even your siblings, your cousin, everyone will be just fighting to race ahead of you. So it is actually true that no one from outside is going to come and push you towards the success, towards the motivation. No one will come and say that, okay, what thing motivates you? This thing motivates you? No. Okay, you said the motivation, this thing should motivate you. No one can come and tell you this. This is the inner feeling which you get and which you said that, okay, these are the things which motivate me or which motivate us to do something in our life. So it is very important that you push yourself because no one else is going to come in your life to push you. This is the quotation. There is one more quotation on motivation. Just 1 minute. Motivation is a fire from within. If someone else tries to light that fire under you, changes are it will burn very briefly. It is a fire which just forces you from within, which pushes you from within. No one, first thing is, no one from outside can burn that fire, but even if someone tries to light that fire in you, there are chances it will burn very briefly. It is not going to give you the desired result. Just think, you're motivated. You do not know by what factors you are motivated, and a person just comes and tells you that, oh, you do not know why what you are motivated. See, you are motivated by the rewards. He told you, you listen to that person. But do you think that that thing is really going to work for you? No, it is not really going to work for you. You won't be motivated until and unless you from within do not get that feeling of motivation. Until and unless you do not feel that, yes, this thing is something which is going to motivate me. This is the thing which is motivating me. You cannot work for that. That thing is not going to inspire you. That thing is not going to pull it to pull it towards you. It is not going to attract you. The traction towards a thing will only come when you have lightened that fire from within. Something from within just came to your mind that, no, my motivation is recognition. That is the true motivation, and that is going to make you win in the organization. That is going to make you win in your life. So it is very important for you to understand the things which truly motivates you. So any doubts in the session? Any doubts related to any of the theories, the 5 theories which we have discussed about in the motivation? No? Okay, so we are done with today's session of motivation. We will have the next session of motivation where we'll be starting with the module 3 of motivation. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.